Hank, the Jets in the middle of a miserable season, and now they're in the news again for something negative. I'm sorry, Mike, it's true.
Look, I'm a Jets fan, too, and it could not be more true. The emotional lives of Jets fans, to misquote Thomas Hobbes, are solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. The team is god-awful this year. Last Sunday, one fan took his frustrations out on a Buffalo Bills fan after another gridiron humiliation. New Jersey State Police say it's 34-year-old Christopher Fox of Lake Peekskill, New York. He's been charged with simple assault. Situation begs questions, though, so I went to Chickies and Pete's in Bordentown.
That's stupid. You're stuck on stupid. And if you do swing a punch at somebody, you should be put in jail.
Billy Kolpack Bill loves his Giants, but why, he asks fans, why are you swinging at strangers?
You're not getting paid to be a Giant fan. You're not getting paid to be an Eagle fan. You're not getting paid to be a Dallas or a Jets fan. You're a fan.
Fair enough, but it does happen all the time. YouTube search, fan fights, and there are scores of videos, and we all know that. The guys at the bar say, look, hope for the best, but hey.
Don't be surprised if it happens. If you walk in, if you're a Dallas fan, you walk to Eagle Stadium, you start running your mouth to Eagles fans, something's going to happen.
Now, is it just our area? One Giants fan says he went to Green Bay expecting the worst, and he got the red carpet.
Giants fans are ready, you know, it's almost like they're ready, like they want to go to the Giants.
They expect to get the beef, right?
Yeah, and they were the same way. They were like, oh, great to see you guys out here, glad you can make the trip.
But look, that's Green Bay. Now, I asked MetLife Stadium about their policies, and since there was an arrest, they referred me to the state police, who again confirmed Mr. Fox's arrest. But you've been to games, I've been to games, and I'm never surprised to see it perk up a little bit. What's up?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, I'm really happy this didn't happen in Philadelphia, because then it would be national, international news. But secondly, people for a 1 o'clock game start drinking at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So when does it become the responsibility of the stadiums to make sure people aren't out of control, wasted, and pick and fight?
But does drinking create fights, or does it just exacerbate an existing condition? If I'm angry already and I get drunk, and then I see that guy in a Patriots or Dolphins jersey, you know, like,
doesn't matter whether it starts it or it just expands it or promotes it. The fight is the fight.
You know, I'm a Bills fan, so I'm glad we gave you a beating on the field this weekend. But I've been to the Meadowlands before, and I wore a Bills hat, and literally you revert back to a 10-year-old. I don't care if you're 30, 40, or 50. You add alcohol in the mix, the guys behind me are sitting there laughing at me, tipping my hat off like we're in a high school cafeteria. It's just they're looking for trouble, and if you want to give it back to them, you're going to throw it down.
Now, are we blowing this out of proportion? You got 70,000 people all packed into a stadium, maybe what, a quarter of them wasted? Somebody's going to take a swing.
We're not blowing it out of proportion, because for every video that TMZ pops, and that video was theirs, I've seen 10 fights in the stands. For every one that gets blown up in the press, there's a dozen that happen that no one ever talks about or sees. It's a cultural problem, and I don't lay it on the teams, because the 70,000 people there need to learn to control themselves. I won't bring my son to one.
The only people Jet fans should be fighting is the general manager for screwing the team over. So let's just leave it at that.